Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome around the globe to Kangen Water Radio, featuring the Kangen Water Health and Information International Call, where we consider, clarify, and often correct the conventional wisdom around Kangen water technology, the different machines, the science behind water types, uses and benefits, the testing process, the maintenance and cleaning of the machines, and much, much more. We also explore a plethora of other topics as we teach, promote, and discuss the three-pronged approach to health and wellness: hydration, detoxification, and complete macro and micronutrition. I'm family physician Dr. Lisa Battle Singletary, your virtual keto coach, and I'll be joined by my co-host and fearless leader, Mr. Terrence Hope, the Magic 6A distributor extraordinaire. And together, we bring you the best of both worlds. This is call number 432. And we are talking today about, we're going to answer a question today. What does the body need most? And there are a lot of different ways to answer that question. In fact, I Googled exactly those words, right? What does the body need? And I got one list of articles based on just that question. But when I added the word most, I got a whole nother list of articles. But what I'm talking about is, maybe you'll guess, is primarily the three-pronged approach. But I do want to review some of the other foundations of health and wellness that we've discussed on this call. And we got up to 7 of them, I believe. And so I went back to review the list. And maybe of those 7, we're going to focus on the top 3: hydration, detox. Well, I won't say the top 3, but the original 3: hydration, detoxification, and complete nutrition. But I want to consider, even out of those 3, which is the most important. And we're going to ask a goldfish. And I say that because these principles of health and wellness are true for the entire organism. They're true for the individual cell, and they're true for everything in between: systems, organs, everything in between needs to have these principles addressed. So I thought, well, we'll pick something in the middle. Let's pick a goldfish. And I love the picture that Mr. Hope portrays in his PowerPoint of the fish in the fish bowl. And I think that's a good frame of reference for us. So I had decided which order to take these in, but why don't we just start from the top? So the first 3, hydration, detoxification, and complete nutrition. I remember the day that Mr. Hope wrote those words up on the whiteboard in his home. And he was giving us a training years ago. And it just, that was the first ding, 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 I guess, that went off in my brain, because I thought that is just brilliant. But what's the most important of the 3? And if you want to chime in the chat, you can chat in what your answer might be out of hydration, detoxification, and nutrition. So let's just start with hydration. Now, how do we hydrate here? Well, not talking about the fish in the fishbowl, but our bodies. We hydrate using Kangen water. And I don't know if you heard the last call, but if you get that replay, that was, I think I titled it a Kangen water masterclass on YouTube. If you go to the YouTube channel, the Kangen Water Radio YouTube channel, and listen to the replay of that call, listen/watch the replay. Mr. Hope just does it such an awesome in-depth job of explaining Kangen water, and not only its importance, but he really defines some things that people often get wrong, even people who've been drinking and marketing Kangen water for years, decades even. That's the purpose of this channel, to get those questions answered, to get those things cleared up. So let's talk about number one, hydration. Okay, and Mr. Hope, please, if you want to jump in here at any time, this is like an interactive, conducive topic. So we'd love your input anytime. So Kangen water. So let's first ask, we know that we as organisms get our hydration from Kangen water. Now, what happens if we don't have enough? Well, we get dehydrated, right? And as organisms, initially, not such a big deal. We've got a lot of reserve, we've got a lot of redundancy in systems. We've got a range of normal. We don't just have a microscopic normal set point, but we've got a range that we can function so for a while, right? Eventually it all outs. But let's ask a cell what happens when there's not enough water. And so, but everything else is okay. There's nutrition there, the detoxification is there, right? But not enough water. That means for a cell that cell is going to be it's going to be in a concentrated, or what we call hypertonic solution. And because of osmosis, water is going to be drawn out of that cell, and it's going to do something called crenation. That's not good for a cell. Well, multiply that by trillions, right? But let's ask a goldfish. What happens in the fish bowl? Okay, so of hydration, detoxification, and nutrition. Well, how does detoxification happen in a fish bowl? You have to clean the bowl, right? As toxins build up, and that can be in a tank that's usually done by a filter. And the bigger the tank, the bigger the aquarium, the bigger the filter. So hydration is the water, right? Detoxification is represented by the filter, or is done by the filter. And nutrition, well, usually we sprinkle the food into the fish bowl. So we have control over that, right? So what if the fish does not have enough water in its bowl? Well, do we want to give it more nutrients? That's not going to address the problem, right? The fish was already fine with nutrients. Do we want to add another filter? That might help lighten the load a bit, but that's not really addressing the underlying problem. The fish needs more water in the bowl. Okay, so let's talk about detoxification. Now, for the cell, detoxification basically just happens by diffusion. When toxins build up, they diffuse out of the cell. Sometimes there's an active process of exocytosis, things like that, but the cell is basically dependent upon the interstitial fluid that it lives in, the fluid around it. And if that fluid is clear, the toxins can flow out of the cell and be taken away by the bloodstream. In the fish, again, the filter is the detoxifier in the fish bowl. In us, what is our detoxifier? Our main detoxifier is our liver. So what if we have plenty of hydration? We're asking the fish. What if the fish has plenty of hydration, plenty of nutrition, but it's not detoxifying? Ah, well, what if we give it more water? That's really not going to answer the question or address the problem. What if we put more nutrition in? That actually would probably make it worse. Putting more nutrition than needed into a toxic environment. Maybe that's why America is #1 in the world in obesity and overweight. Maybe I heard these numbers just keep going up. I think now it's up to 75% of Americans are overweight or obese. That is astounding. But what do we keep doing? We keep adding more and more nutrition, or maybe not nutrition, but just edible substances, edible matter into a toxic body. All right. So let's talk about the third prong of the 3 prongs, nutrition. What if the water level is fine? The filter is clear and working, but the fish is hungry. Giving it more water, is that going to help? And not really. Putting another filter into the aquarium or into the fish bowl, the fish is still going to be hungry. So nutrition, if it's and this is the point. What is the most important thing of these needed things? It's the one you're missing, right? So we want to make sure that we're hitting all. We're firing on all cylinders. We're hitting all of the necessary, or we could say the essentials. So the first 3, hydration, detoxification, and complete nutrition. Now, nutrition is 2 categories, macronutrition and micronutrition. Micronutrition is the little teeny substances you only need a trace of, but they're super important. Vitamins, minerals. Macronutrition is more the building blocks, fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. And we need all of the essentials in all of the right amounts. So that balance is very important for homeostasis. So I can't emphasize enough hydration, detoxification, and complete nutrition. I hope you're saying it in your sleep. That's what the body needs. But we've also addressed some other principles of health and wellness on this call, such as movement. I have 3 friends right now who've had joint replacements recently, or bone and joint issues, I should say, recently, and who are in physical therapy now. And one of the physical therapists I heard said to one of my friends that motion is lotion. And just think about it. As long as you keep moving, even if it hurts, then you're making, hopefully you're making progress. This is assuming you got all the other things going, the hydration, detoxification, and nutrition. We want to keep in motion, whether it's higher impact like running, lower impact, etc. Adjusting it to your body, but keep the body in motion. Sometimes even just stretching is a key crucial component to keeping the flow of the body, keeping the body in motion. And what happens when when you're immobilized, like that girl in the cast in the picture Mr. Hope uses? You lose muscle, you lose joint range, you lose, every time you're not moving, you're losing. And you've heard the phrase, use it or lose it. Well, that is true in many, many, many situations dealing with the body. All right. Next is similar to motion, but this is more, I would say more specialized to the blood vessels, the nerves, the digestive system. The word is flow, right? We want to keep, and this is also mentally, we can have mental blockages. We can have blockages in the colon. We can have blockages of blood vessels, all of which are bad, right? But we want to flow. We want to go with the flow. We want to flow with the body as we support and nourish the body to keep a well hydrated, detoxified, nutrified state. And this is the difference between using natural supplements versus using prescriptions, because by and large, and I mean, the overwhelming percentage of prescriptions function by blocking something in the body. And it's even the names of some of them: alpha blockers, beta blockers, calcium channel blockers, right? I'm trying to think of others, but those are the main ones that come to mind. But what natural substances do is generally they work with the flow of the body. Now, sometimes they take longer to have the effect that you're looking for, but it's something that the body can use, is something that the body can use in balance, and it's something the body can flow with. So, and now sometimes, sometimes you do need quick action. You do need the intervention of a prescription, but many times that can be a short-term situation as we get the flow of the body and the balance of the body working naturally. Now, okay, I feel the need to disclaimer, disclaimer. We do not diagnose, treat, mitigate, prevent, test for, we don't make any other claims for any diseases on this call. What we do is we nourish, support, hydrate, detoxify, and nutrify the body so that the body can be the best that it can be. The body can reach the dynamic equilibrium we love as homeostasis. Okay, so that was hydration, detoxification, nutrition, movement, flow, rest. Even if you look at the cell cycle, when the cell, there's a cycle of cells that they will double all of the material in the cell. It will separate, it will divide into two cells and start to grow. But then there's a period of rest. They call it the gap. There's a gap period. Now, sometimes during that gap period, there's a lot of activity, but it's still in a restful state. And rest and regeneration is very important for the Borg. It's important for us. Now, the Borgs are, machine hybrids, whatever. They're fake, I know. But just the fact that they needed a regeneration cycle, it intrigued me because that is so close to what we need. We need to rest and regenerate. Now, sometimes it's good to marry to multiple concepts. For instance, there are some nutrients that are more helpful to the body if they're taken right before bedtime. So you're adding the concept of rest to the concept of nutrition. But Without rest, the body cannot reestablish its homeostasis, its dynamic equilibrium. All right, and the last, so we did hydration, detoxification, complete nutrition, movement, flow, rest, and the last, possibly my favorite, is a sound mind. And you can have all of the rest, but if you don't have a sound mind, well, what profiteth it a man? So those are I would say, the 7 foundations of health that we really focus on in this call, even if we only say 3 of them: hydration, detoxification, and complete nutrition. We're thinking of all the rest: movement, flow, rest, and a sound mind. Okay, so what does a body need? The body needs them all, but it needs more attention sometimes to the component that's missing. And so we might focus there first or focus there hardest, but we want to get the whole harmony of the body working together to achieve homeostasis. All right, so we have our own source of harmony and dynamic equilibrium on this call, Mr. Terrence Hope, Enagic 6A, distributor extraordinaire. Mr. Hope, are you with us?
Mademoiselle Dr. Lisa Singletary, MD, I indeed am with you and with us all here on the Kangen Water Health and Information Call. And once again, as usual, I am so glad to hear the subject matter that you bring to the fore, the information that you provide for us all to know, to think about, to stimulate our minds in a direction that gives us proper understanding of our health and well-being. And so I'm very thankful, indeed. Now, here on the Kangen Water Health and Information Call, we all who are here are very fortunate because we have with us Dr. Lisa Singletary, MD. And Dr. Singletary is a board-certified physician, a medical doctor who is now retired, lending her time to nutrition, hydration, and detoxification as a health approach for our medical needs. In our world, there are synthesized chemicals. There are prescription medications that have now been the mainstay of what we understand to be the approach for affecting and benefiting our health needs. But before all of that was present, there was a time when these things did not exist. Now, one can say, well, today we have more advances in our research that gives rise to an understanding that this certain allopathic approach is perhaps the best. But we miss certain things when we focus entirely on synthesized forms of chemicals to approach and affect our health. And that is the fact that the body is self-healing. Yeah.
Ding,
and
ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding. And there are certain core aspects our health is based upon it. So before some created being, as in humans, forms the brain and reaches the mature age when one can think through a process of, well, how does the body work? Well, what should I give it to work? Think about all the years that led up to them becoming at least 25 to 30 years old to be mature enough to think about that process. Think about the first man who was ever born. How'd they get to be at the mature age? Healthy and well. There had to be nutrition. Yeah, there had to be hydration. Somehow in someone's instincts, there had to be an understanding of what that was. without necessarily so we're going to take it back to a primitive time. We are here today, each and every one of us, representing the first human being that lived in our family line, let alone the first being ever created. The fact that we are sitting here means that procreation occurred for, is it thousands of years? Is it millions of years? However long the human beings have been here. And we are the equation, what is that? The sum total of all of those beings. There are hundreds of people that married, got together, had children that led to my being here talking to you. And it's the same for everyone. And so before there was a time when someone can think through what, you know, how do we live? Now, one might say, oh, once upon a time, we lived only to be 30 years old, but now with advances, we understand, no, really? We all know people who are centurions. Let me. So I want to just take us back to the foundation of nutrition, hydration, detoxification, and there are basics. Even in my presentation, I often lean on the animal models in the wild, who in mineral-rich environments, when they're there, are known to live without any of the well-known chronic illnesses that human beings suffer from. We're not seeing the deer and the antelope in the wild walk up to the dialysis center because their kidneys have suddenly gone awry. We don't see the plethora of cancers and diabetes and high blood pressure and kidney failure and all these things within the animal population. Yeah, and I'm speaking very, very broadly, but there's a great deal of truth to that. Yeah, so I'm very thankful that we have Dr. Singletary here as well, that we can begin to focus, knowing more things as our calls have been here for some time in video form and different explanations of the mechanisms of disease, the functions of the organs, and what is the foundation of what our body needs in hydration, nutrition, and detoxification for full function. And so with that, I'd like to share just a slide or two so we can talk about one of our mainstay subject matters. And that indeed,
before you jump in, I just did have one more thing to say in your introduction. You reminded me of how many times, I mean, not dozens, hundreds of times, I would be in the hospital wards and a patient would be admitted and doctors would be puzzled and they'd throw this, throw this IV, throw this antibiotic and whatever. And in 2-3 days, the patient gets better. The doctors can't explain it, but they're like, well, let's back off on this and let's back off on that and discharge the patient. And they still can't explain it, but it's because the body did the healing. They might have done a little intervention that maybe just putting them on their backs, just getting some rest was the issue, or just, getting a little fluid, giving some hydration, but the body confounded the doctors. And of course they took credit for it. So I'm sorry, I didn't.
No, I understand that. And as I go into our Kangen water information explanation, it's to say, I'll say this: the average medical doctor, medical school, is skipping a large segment, a core segment of your priority health information. So we mentioned on one of our calls, as a quick aside, something called the FlexNor report, which was a time in the early 1900s where medicine was transferred over from nutrition and detoxification and herbal approaches to pharmaceutical approaches. And what was removed from the medical school curriculum was the full nutrition understanding and the self-healing mechanisms of the body. You will see a plethora of science research that speaks to the biochemistry of the body's function and its self-healing ability. And as well, those things that the body needs in nutrition to apply to it, which I apparently will be going into now, since you got me started now. And but they're not taught in medical school, so that your average doctor or modern scientist does not know these things. So they understand, have been taught anatomy, biochemistry, physics, many different science disciplines, and then they skipped the giant, or I'm going to call it this, they skipped the elephant in the room, which was the core of your digestive tract and the nutrition value that it needs, and went right to pharmaceutical application to your health. So that's the reason why they can be in a hospital and not understand why a patient might recover from something. Yeah, part of their education removes the concept of self-healing. It's a concept, well, I must give this so it does that. Really? I can go on a tirade. This is not Starfleet Command. You did not join Starfleet Academy. You were supposed to go to a medical school. We are on planet Earth. Nothing else that you give a patient comes from anywhere else in the universe, outside of the planet. We are Earthlings. We eat from the earth. Everything here cycles onto itself. So you're not inventing anything per se new, and much of what is needed is already in existence. We have to get back to the education that was removed on nutrition, factor that back in to our understandings, and then worldwide we might all have an understanding that's better, even from our homes, of how to take care of ourselves. Yeah, so get me emotional with this stuff, right? So I'm going to get back into Kangen water and where we're going to go with that. We begin, as I like to say, at the beginning. So Kangen water is the factor that we talk about, what do you call it, our three-prong approach regards hydration. And with Kangen water, we have now a superior form of hydration. The Enagic company out of Japan invented these machines called Kangen water machines. And the term Kangen is said to be an idiom for return to origin. So they want to return your body to the origin that it is founded upon, and begin, as I like to say in my talks, at the beginning. Yes. So their motto is change your water, change your life. Yeah. So Kangen water. And so we have a water that can hydrate us. It's optimum in its ability to detox, therefore remove toxicity that would disrupt our body's function. What did Dr. Singletary say? You can give a body more nutrition, but if the toxic load is an issue, then you could be causing more problems by not removing the toxic load that causes the impairment of the digestive system and the body's function, and not giving a situation where nutrients can be absorbed because the toxic load is too high. pH imbalances occur, cause dysfunction of the organs, therefore the body cannot function properly. We go on. Yes? So hydration, very key. Detoxification, very key. The Enagic Kangen water machines, masters at hydration and detoxification. Change your water, change your life. Yeah. So what are the Kangen water machines? Many people have known the Kangen water machines to be referred to as alkaline water units or alkaline water machines. The term alkaline water became popularized exactly and precisely because of the Kangen water machines. However, there is more than one way to make a water alkaline. Yes? And just because your water is alkaline does not mean that it is healthy and beneficial for you. As a matter of fact, you can use electricity to process water to convert it into an antioxidant substance, or you can simply take alkaline minerals and put them in water and make it alkaline. But putting minerals in water, particularly those that are not bioavailable or absorbable for the body, will make a water alkaline when it comes to minerals, but it won't make it antioxidant. So now you can't detox, nor does it make it better in hydration. Yeah? And I'll go into more detail about that because so what do we have in Kangen water? We have a water that's processed through a process of electricity. Yeah? And when you hit water with electricity, the process is now known as electrolysis, and that converts your water into an antioxidant substance known as electrolyzed reduced water. Electrolyzed reduced water. So what is Kangen water? Kangen water, by definition in science, is electrolyzed reduced water. If you want to know what Kangen water is, you don't look at the term Kangen water. That's our brand name. Yeah. You look at the science term that it's referring to, electrolyzed reduced water. And under this science heading, you will see a plethora of science reviews, clinical trials, medical papers on its benefits for the body. Now, we here at the Kangen Water Company are not allowed to make medical claims about our water, and so we do not. But what we do for you is to point you in the direction of the science reference so that you on your own can look up the term electrolyzed reduced water and see what scientists all over the world, 13,000, 14,000, science papers available on the subject matter and what benefits it has. Yeah. And there you will find a great deal. So what is Kangen water? Let's stop calling it alkaline water. Let's call it electrolyzed reduced water, so we're more specific to what it is and for the body. So electrolyzed reduced water is produced in a process known as electrolysis, where electricity comes in direct contact with water. And I highlight these words and let you point at the prefix of each of the words that you can see electricity is the core of each of our terms. So it's a water produced in the process where electricity comes in contact with water. This is an example of one of our Kangen water machines, popularly known as the SD501. Our machines have 7 different levels that they produce, 7 different kinds of water. Once upon a time, I thought water was water. Come to find these machines, and I find out that just because a substance is transparent doesn't mean it's the same. Of course, vodka, or as they say in Russia, vodka, is transparent, but it is certainly not water. Yes, it has a whole different effect on your body. Waters can be manifested in different places in the world. We know there are lakes, we know there are oceans, we know that there are ponds and streams. The different substances and the way the water is affected by the environment will culminate in the outcome of what that water substance really is, even though they all look the same. There are oceans that you would be aware of in the world that border one another, literally line up. And you can see a line right down the middle of the ocean as far as the eye can see, where these 2 water bodies will not mix because they're of different properties. Yes. And so water, while all appearing to be the same, is not water. Makes no sense. But I mean by that, of course, water is not all the same. And so our Kangen machines have 7 different levels of water. They have 3 settings for the antioxidant levels of the water, known as Kangen water for drinking. We have a neutral pH water, known as clean water on our machines. It's simply a neutral pH water that is filtered, but does not go through the electrical process. We have a beauty water, highlighted in yellow, also known as an acid water. It's a mild acid water. And you could put that on your skin and hair. It will kill bacteria in your pores and your skin, allowing your skin to tighten up and therefore smooth out. Ergo, beauty water. Yeah. We have a strong Kangen water, they call it, and a strong acid water. The strong acid water has become very popular over the past year or two, where the health environment has been concerned about bacteria and viruses and so forth. This is a medical grade hypochlorous acid that can be sprayed upon surfaces to kill E. coli, bacteria, mold, and viruses. So you can decontaminate your environment. This is an example of the Kangen water machines, electrically processing water to make it antioxidant so you can detox your body. These are a few other examples of our Kangen water machines. Once again, here's the SD501 over here. In the middle is our metallic surfaced platinum SD501. Many people like that. They find it decorative in their kitchens, particularly if they've got stainless steel appliances and so forth. This is the Kangen 8 machine. It has a white surface. It is our most modern and latest addition. The Kangen 8 has a universal power supply system. This machine here will allow you to travel with it to any country in the world, plug it into any electrical socket without the use or need of a power converter. So if you're in the UK, you can travel to various parts of Dubai, Europe, and Russia if you wanted to, of course, throughout Africa, the United States, and so forth. So you can travel with that machine and not have to worry about a power conversion. The SD501 Platinum is metallic on the surface. It is identical to the other SD501 series machines. The difference is the exterior. So if you like the aesthetics, the exterior, you can get that machine. This is our core flagship unit, the SD501, and our most modern unit with self-cleaning functions that are like a little washing machine in there. Universal power supply system and digital settings gives you the top of the line Kangen 8. So there we have it. So summarizing, Kangen water is an electrolyzed reduced water produced in a process known as electrolysis, where electricity and water come in direct contact with one another. There are a number of different science references you can make to the Kangen water. Electrolyzed reduced water has many publications on PubMed. You'll see references. This here is a reference from Science Direct, a publication, advanced research on the health benefit of reduced water, referring to electrolyzed reduced water and the reduction of electrons in the process. So how is Kangen water produced? Kangen water is produced when electricity hits water. Kangen water is produced when electricity hits water. So here's an example of a lightning strike, yes? And here's an example of the molecular structure of water. H2O, 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen, yep? So that is a molecular structure of water. We're gonna hit water with electricity, click-ow, as I like to say. It's kind of corny now, right? But we hit water with electricity, and that causes the water molecule, now represented in red and white, to divide into its segments. So here you have H2O broken down into its different segments. Yeah, here's the hydrogen atom removed from the OH segment of the molecule, and you have these 2 parts. Yeah, so what do we have? Water, H2O, hit by electricity, divided into its segments, highlighting this particular segment known as OH negative, which is an alkaline molecule. And you get a restructuring in your water of these of the hydroxide ion with other antioxidant molecules. Yeah. What is the goal? When you hit water with electricity, you produce antioxidant ions or molecules. These ions are going to go into your body when you drink the water and remove toxicity. It'll act as an antioxidant for you. Yeah. So water hits electricity, it's divided into its segments. And guess what? This hydroxide ion, being an alkaline molecule, is the reason why Kangen water became popularly known as alkaline water. Yeah. However, the water is not alkalizing you. In the process where electricity comes in contact with water, you have the production of antioxidant molecules. This hydroxide alkaline molecule is only being used by us at the Kangen Water Company as a measuring tool. What we know is that the more of these OH negative molecules we have, or alkaline molecules in the water, the greater the volume of antioxidant molecules in the water overall. I'll put it this way. We have an 8.5, 9.0, and 9.5 pH level on our Kangen water machines. The 8.5 represents a small volume of antioxidant ions, 9.0 mid-range, 9.5 the highest, yes? So let's say if I have some soldiers going into your body to remove toxicity. Think of it this way, the 8.5 is 100 soldiers going out. The 9.0 is 500. Yeah, that's right. 500 soldiers going out to remove toxicity. 9.5 is 1,000 soldiers going out to remove toxicity. So think of it as OH negative as your general, and the general has an army. Yeah. So, you know, the 8.5 has 100 military men. The 9.0 has 500, and the 9.5 has 1,000. So the higher the pH, 8.5, 9.0, 9.5, the greater the antioxidant effect, the stronger the detox. So 8.5 is a mild detox, 9.0 is mid-range, and 9.5 is the highest. Those are very important things for us to understand. So we understand the effect that the Kangen water can have on a person. Here's a diagram just showing you the process that's going on inside the machine when electricity is hitting water and the antioxidant ions and molecules that occur in the process. Let me show you something. So your body is primarily water, right? Our bodies are 70% water. Our blood is over 90% water, which is something. And the kind of water you have in your body will dictate the function of your cells, because all of your cells and organs require water. No water, no function. Yeah. So if I'm going to give a person a Kangen water, 8.5, 9.0, 9.5 will have different strengths of the antioxidant effect that can occur when you drink Kangen water, right? So I want to make sure if I'm giving someone an antioxidant water for the first time, that their body can successfully remove toxicity. If I gave a person a 9.5 pH water of the Kangen electrically processed water, that means it has a great volume of antioxidant ions available, then we can remove a great deal of toxins. But what if the person is highly toxic and has never had a detoxification process? Yeah. That 9.5 can remove so much toxins that it could overwhelm their body as they try to get rid of it. You know, going to the bathroom is how we get rid of toxins. Removing toxins with an antioxidant effect is how we get rid of them out of our cells. So 9.5 could be too much at one time. So we always have people start at the 8.5 level of our water machines so that the detoxification is milder. Remember what I said, that the 8.5 pH is a general with 100 soldiers. So we have a milder of detoxification. So we have a milder detoxification. 9.0, mid-range, 500 soldiers. 9.5, 1,000 soldiers, highest level. So I want to detox at a level that is mild for the body, that it can handle the detoxification. And I often recommend that people start at the 8.5 and remain there for about the first 30 days on their use of the Kangen water, so they can remove toxicity mildly, slowly, comfortably for the body, and not overwhelm it in the process. Then I would say go up to 9.0 and 9.5. So you see the importance of what we reference in alkalinity as a detoxification, and we need to know what the strength of that detoxification is so we can give you the water that you need. That's why we have the different settings. People say, oh, those settings are there just for nothing. You could jump to 9.5. No, they're not. The settings are there. So you have a mild detoxification, you could have a strong mid-range detoxification, and a strong one. So your body needs to have the detoxification that is best for you. If a person is carrying a lot of extra weight, if obesity happens to be an issue, you never really want to take them to the 9.5 level. You want to keep them at the 8.5 level, because their body has a larger toxic load when you're carrying extra weight. So you want to do the 8.5 because there's no race for the 9.5 in our machines. It's using the level of the water of our machines that is most comfortable for your body to remove toxicity. Yeah? I'm gonna pause 1 second as I see Dr. Singletary has her hand up. And Dr. Singletary, you had something you want to say?
I do, because, and I'm flowing with you, Mr. Hope, from the moment you said a superior form of hydration, I was locked in.
Yes.
But I want to help you with this math, because it's even more going to make your point, because pH is a logarithmic scale.
Right, that exponential jump, yeah.
So if 8.5 represents 100, 9.5 represents 1,000. I'm sorry. Yeah, if 8.5 is 100, then a one number, 9.5 is 1,000.
Right.
And so you were exactly right. You're exactly right. But the just one number in pH represents a 10-fold increase in the log number.
Right.
I don't think I explained it right.
Yeah,
but
yeah. It's exponentially,
it's not
increases the
just
power.
it's not just twice as much,
Right.
but
It's significant, in other words.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
powerful.
Powerful. So well said, well said. And where was that here? So
Oops, I muted you. I was trying to mute myself.
okay, good, 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 good. So yeah, so that's clear for everyone. Dr. Singletary mentioned a fish tank. We often talk about that and liken it to the body and how the body can become toxic. And as such, we have to remove toxicity. You can't put old wine, new wine into old wine skins, because if the body is very toxic and you try to give it good night nutrition, that toxicity could block the digestive tract's ability to absorb nutrition. The toxicity in the digestive tract can block the body's ability to absorb nutrition. So we want to make sure we're detoxing even before we try to get into a new health program or better nutrition. Sometimes people can say that they are wanting to lose weight, and so they'll change their food intake, and they will take in instead, they're going to eat salads, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. They say, oh my goodness, I've changed my way I'm eating, but I'm not losing any weight. I don't understand. It's because there's a toxic load from the foods that we've been eating over time. Look at this, processed foods throughout the industrialized world, McDonald's and the fast food industry, the donuts and the candies and the chocolates, the sodas and the fast foods and the pizzas and gluten-filled, high sugar amounts. All these kind of, edible matter is what I like to call them, but oftentimes they're not really food. And because we take in a great deal of edible matter, meaning a lot of junk foods, so you can eat it, but it's not beneficial. What does the Bible say? There's some things that are, everything is permissible, not everything is beneficial, right? So you're going to absorb things that are not beneficial, although you can take them in. So you put things like French fries, McDonald's into your body. If you lost them in your car and you found them a year later, if you didn't vacuum, they still be intact. Food is supposed to decompose. So what was that French fry? Who knows, right? So we're not even sure that many of the things we're taking in are even food. Where is soda on the food chain? To drink, there's water. If you squeeze fruits and vegetables, you'll have your juice. If you decide to drink from a milk from an animal, goat, cow, whatever. After that, what is there to drink? Nothing. So where does soda come in? A way to manufacture something to you to purchase for a profit. So watch out for all the things out here that I call edible matter. Yeah, they're not beneficial for you. They're not really nutrition. And what's more, they fill up the digestive tract and block it because they're highly toxic substances, because they can't be broken down into food and therefore removed as waste. They stay lodged in your digestive tract. So toxic buildup will occur. If your body cannot remove toxicity, toxins will flow into your bloodstream. If those toxins get to your major organs, they can cause cell damage or cell dysfunction and organ dysfunction. And your body's going to try to trap it in fatty cells as an immune response to protect you. That's the basic process you're seeing when someone's carrying extra weight. Their first movement should be to remove toxicity, and then to couple that with proper nutrition, so the body can get the best of those two worlds, needing their attention for improved health. So watch out for these bottled sodas, not good for you. They cause a lot of cell imbalance when you drink it and digestive disorders. Here is something I go over often. I'm going to close out with this and take questions from our live audience around the world. It is said very often that the body is alkaline, yeah? And people try to achieve alkalinity in the body because there has been a lot of talk about the body being alkaline. Eat and drink alkaline foods and beverages to be healthy so your body can maintain alkalinity. Now, the way the body actually works is by self-regulating all of its functions, including the pH of all the organs. And the organs must stay at different specific pH ranges and equilibrium levels in order for them to function properly. Yeah. So what we get to learn is that the body is not entirely alkaline, whereas there are organs that are, there are organs that are also acidic and must be acidic in order to be healthy. So look at some good examples here. We look at the stomach. This one over here, I think I always go to first, right? The stomach here is shown in a pH range of 1.5 to 4.0. That's the acidic pH range. In our pH range, we have a scale that goes from 0 to 14. Anything below 7 on that scale is considered to be acidic. Anything above a 7 on that scale is considered to be alkaline. So if it's below 7, like this is 1.5 to 4.0, that's the acidic range, and that is a healthy range for the lower stomach. It's also a healthy range for the small and large intestines, which can go as low as 4.0 in the acidic range to neutral at 7.0, depending on the stage of digestion. Look over here. Look at the gastric secretions, the actual hydrochloric acid that breaks down your food. 1.0 to 3.5 must be acidic to break down your foods for you to have a healthy digestive experience. Yeah. Look over here as I look at the urinary tract. Watch this. 4.5, which is below 7 in the acidic range, all the way up to 8.0, which is in the alkaline range, right? So that one was not acidic nor alkaline, but ranges in both areas, depending on the stage of digestion and what level it's removing at the time. So you see from this example, even like saliva can range from a 6.0 to a 7.4. That's below a 7 in the acidic range and above a 7 in the alkaline range. So the body is not entirely acidic or alkaline. It ranges as to what it needs to be at. And how does it achieve that? Through its self-functioning ability, and getting proper nutrition will allow your body to have what it needs to function, along with proper hydration. No cell function occurs without water. So you run out of water, you run out of time. You've got to have water in your body, and the kind of water you have in your body will dictate your cell and organ function. Yeah. So here it says here, the pH values of the human body. Fluids in the human body function to provide digestion, lubrication, nutrient and oxygen transportation, and protection, of course, all and many other cell functions. To perform these functions, the acid levels must be varied to match the bodily function. Overall levels of acidity or alkalinity are a measure on a pH scale and must be carefully controlled in each bodily fluid and each bodily organ. So we learned today that the body is not entirely alkaline, but it ranges in pH levels, and that our proper hydration and nutrition give the body what it needs to perform its self-regulating function. Yeah. So I'm going to pause there and see if we have any questions from the live audience. And I love taking those questions because people can come with many different perspectives. They can come with many other questions, some of which we may not have gone over specifically. And we can take those questions here and be thorough to our live audience. On your laptop or a desktop computer, on your phone, you'll see a little tab that says raise hand. You might find that under your reactions button on your Zoom call. You can just click that button. It'll have your hand raised. We'll see that you have a question, and we'll bring you into the call. We like to bring you in live so we can hear from you, hear your voice. We enjoy hearing from our international community, from Nigeria to Uganda to Dubai to India to the United Kingdom, including Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, England, Northern Ireland, yeah, and throughout the United States, Canada, Vietnam, and so forth. So we enjoy hearing from you. So go ahead and click that, and we'll allow you to unmute yourself and come forward with your question. We love having your questions. So
we got Alaska in the house.
Ooh, welcome aboard, Alaska. We enjoy seeing you here on the call and being with us to ask your valuable question. So go ahead, anyone, come on board, unmute yourself on your phone or your Zoom call. Love to hear from you. Tell us where you're from, and we'll take your question. All right. We
have a hand, Laura.
All right.
Hello.
Hi, Lara. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here with us. Where
Hi,
do you
thank
hail
you so
from?
much. This is so
Pleasure.
interesting. And
Mm,
I wanted to ask you, please. I'm so interested in the Kangen water, but where I live, we have really bad water here. So I had to actually put in a reverse osmosis machine under my sink because the water is just terrible where I live. It's
mm,
full of all sorts of awful things, fluoride and chemicals, and the farmers, they spray everything all over the fields and that goes into my water. So to protect my children, I put in reverse osmosis, but then I started looking online to see if I can use reverse osmosis with the Kangen machine, and it doesn't seem like I'm able to. So I was wondering, if I wanted to get a Kangen water machine, what would
right,
be the solution for um, for my water, because it's very, very hard here, and
right.
there's so many awful things in it. I mean, it's really, really bad. When I had it tested, it came up really, really bad.
Mm,
They said basically that I needed reverse osmosis. So
mm,
obviously, I don't know whether, yeah. I mean, basically, I'm open to your
right.
suggestions.
Yeah. So thank you, Lara. And you are calling from the UK. Whereabouts are you in the UK?
I'm in the East Midlands, which is yeah, it's renowned for it's on the it's basically I'm in Northamptonshire, so
Okay.
I'm about an hour and a half above London.
Perfect. Perfect. So we operate within the United Kingdom and throughout the Greater London region, and we have an immediate answer for your water contamination issues. So we would not have actually done reverse osmosis water because, of course, that removes everything, but it also removes the valuable dissolved minerals in your water that you need for all kind of purposes, yeah, for your body's function and so forth. So what we do is pre-filtration, right? So we'll put pre-filters in there along with the Kangen water machine. And throughout the UK, we provide those complimentary with the installation. We have installation experts that handle that. So they actually come to your home and can connect it for you and install that and the pre-filter. So if you have a reverse osmosis system, where is it, under the sink? The
It's under
kitchen?
the sink, yes, and it has some sort of remineralization thing on the last stage of it, I think.
Yeah,
So because that was one of my big questions, I didn't want to have like distilled water where it strips it, because I have children.
right.
I didn't want my children to be suffering from it. So I did ask for a remineralization. I think it's some sort of capsule thing that goes in. I'm not sure
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, and it's not always the way it's really like water designed to get its minerals per se, you know. So we would probably put a 3 or 4 stage pre-filter on there. Our man in the UK, his name is Phil Rudland. He and his team are UK experts who will come in, you know, and test your water and put the filtration system that is necessary for your water system. So, you know, and then all you have to do after that is change the filter about, you know, once a year or something like that. And he has the schedule, but so filtration. So we put the Kangen water machine in, we put pre-filtration behind it. The water source will come from your tap into the pre-filter first, grabbing out all the contaminants, then go into the Kangen water machine, which has 2 chambers. One is the high-grade filter for removal of contaminants once again, but you have excessive ones. So we've got the pre-filter, so we have the high-grade filter inside the unit as well, and then it goes to the electrical system known as the electrolysis chamber. And that's where the water is hit with electricity. And it must be purified to a certain degree in order for the electrolysis to occur. Because if there's
Right.
high contamination within it, high chlorine levels, it can't do it. And it also needs the source dissolved minerals in your water, including calcium, in order to perform that. So we have an answer, we can take care of that. And it'll be simple to do. We do it all the time, all throughout the UK.
Okay, that's really interesting to know. Thank you for that. Can you also take out fluoride though? Because I know that
Absolutely.
fluoride's really hard, isn't it, to take out fluoride? It's not so easy, is it? Because it has I don't know, it's yeah. I
No,
don't
we take
really
it out.
understand how it works.
We take it out. We have an answer for it. So the pre-filter would handle that as well. Is it available? You know, there's a well, so we handle that. So if we put a 3-stage pre-filter on there to deal with what we've got in the Midlands, then we would also be handling the fluoride. It'll be a plethora of contaminants will come out. Your water will be pure, and reverse osmosis is really not required to handle that. We can handle it.
Okay. Okay, fantastic. That all sounds great. That sounds really good. Okay, fantastic. So what do I do? Do I just email back with the link that I got for this Zoom meeting? And
Yeah, you got that through, I guess, through the Kangen Water email or something like that, right? I imagine.
yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. Email back on there. Are you called Lara on our system as well? Is that your name in our system?
I think so, yeah.
All right, yeah. So just email back. You can also send me a direct message here on the chat. I'm Kangen Water Nation. I'm listed here as Kangen Water Nation, Kangen Water Radio. Just send me a direct chat there, and I will respond and take care of what you need there. You know, so give me a direct chat, Lara, and I'll send you an email address as well that you can contact me on directly. Reach me at Kangen Water Hope at KangenWaterNation.com.
Okay, I sent you a direct message.
Perfect. All right, Lara. Perfect. Glad to
Mr.
hear
Hope,
from
may
you.
I ask, do you recommend a pre-filter for every machine?
The Kangen water machines are designed to function without the necessity of an additional pre-filter. The unit will has an internal carbon filter, and it's denoted specifically to remove chlorine, lead, particulates, and sediments, but the carbon removes a lot more than that. So Enagic only highlights it for certain things, but it does a great deal more. Otherwise, it really couldn't function to do what it needs. So the Kangen water machine by itself will do the job. Now, if there's excessive issues in your tap water, you should definitely put a pre-filter on that. In the US, pre-filter is called, that I recommend, actually comes from a company known as Ion Medics. Ion Medics exists in Ireland as well, but called Ion Solutions. And in the United States, it's called Ion Faucet. And the Ion Medics removes, oh my goodness, so many contaminants, including fluoride. And you only have to change it about once a year. So I really, really like it. So I have that on one of my main machines, and I've got a sediment filter as well. So it's great to have additional pre-filtration. And the Enagic company has something called the Ultra E. It removes everything. It's a great pre-filter, but it does not remove fluoride, which is my one criticism of it. You're gonna make a pre-filter and be thorough, like the Ion Medics, right? So the machines will work just as they are, and I've used them for years without pre-filtration. Now you add pre-filtration to ensure you're getting out a higher volume of other contaminants. Woo! That's great water, you know. So, you know, yes.
And better for the machine, maybe?
Yeah, well, because, you know, you're taxing the internal filter less. You know, contaminants don't really affect the machine because the internal working of the unit is made of platinum wrapped titanium, and nothing's bothering that as long as you're doing the proper cleaning of the machine, where you'll run your beauty water for at least 30 seconds. Well, this is a nice tip for everyone out there. Run your beauty water for at least 30 seconds each evening before you go to bed. So the last water to go through your machine is always the beauty water. The beauty water on our machine is a setting that's for the skin and hair, but it is a mild acid that when left on the machine will eat away calcium deposits, kill bacteria, prevent mold, and keep your machine in pristine condition. There's also a citric acid powder that we give you to flush through the machine about once a month at least, which will also do that. But if you're doing the beauty water, at least 30 seconds each evening, it's kind of a parallel to the citric acid powder. So ideal.
Awesome.
It's good questions.
Well, we thank everyone for joining us today. Any last questions, you can type into the chat or raise your hand. But we are going to
begin our closeout.
Do a little housekeeping. Did you show your slide with the numbers, Mr. Hope? I don't remember.
I guess it's a pretty good slide, and it's a little more succinct today.